Hello students of grade 2, welcome to today's class on odd numbers and that of even numbers. Our lesson is from unit 7 and page 36 of our learners book session. First, we have to understand what an odd number is, and second, we have to understand what an even number is. Then we go to the activities on the board. First, an odd number is a number that when you divide by 2, it will always give you a remainder of 1. Okay, so that is written here. An odd number is a number that when divided by 2 has a remainder of 1. So that is an odd number. An even number is a number that when you divide by 2, it doesn't have any remainder. Okay, so this is the writing. We have even number, a number that when divided by 2, there is no remainder. So when you divide a number that gives you no remainder, it means that particular number is an even number. So these are the two differences or meanings that we assign to odd numbers and that of even numbers. Once we know the difference between odd numbers and even numbers, now we can move to our table and then we can complete our table, because we are going to use the understanding of even numbers and that of odd numbers. Okay. Over here we have a group of numbers here. We have 2, 6, 8, 9, 13, 18, 19 and 20. We are supposed to complete this table with these numbers. Okay. Okay, so this is the instruction that we have on our table. The first instruction is that there are two main categories. We have the odd number section and then we have the even number section. Also, on the rows we have less than 10 and then we have not less than 10. So these are the columns, and then going this way are the rows. So we have 2 rows, 2 columns. Okay. Now, whenever you are putting a number here, you should be guided by the instruction on the row and the instruction on top of your column. So the first instruction is that the numbers that you put here should be odd numbers. However, they should also be less than 10. So we look at 2. 2 is not an odd number, but 2 is less than 10. So which means that 2 cannot sit, or we cannot write 2 at this space. So we have to move 2 to even number. So 2 will go to the even number section because it is less than 10 and it is an even number. So we are done with our 2. Okay. So now let's move to 6. 6 is also an even number which is less than 10. So we'll put our 6 inside here and then we'll cross our 6 out. 8 is an even, also less than 10. So our 8 will also be crossed out. 9. We cannot divide 9 by 2 without having any remainder. There is going to be a remainder of 1. So once we divide 9 by 2 and we'll have a remainder of 1, it means 9 is an odd number. 9 is also less than 10. So we have to put 9 in the space of an odd number. 13. 13, 2 cannot divide without a remainder. There's going to be a remainder of 1. So 13 is an odd number. But we cannot put 13 here because the instruction on the row says that any number that you put here should be less than 10. But 13 is bigger than 10. So not less than 10, 13 has to be here. You continue from 18, which is also even number, but not less than 10. Not less than 10 means it is bigger than 10. So we have to put our 18 here. 19 is an odd number, so that will be here. And our 20, so we have to strike this one out. So your 20 is this one. Okay, so this is how we can complete our table using our numbers that we have here. So anytime you are completing tables like this, be guided with the instructions on the row and the instructions on the column. Once this is clear for you, we will move to our first task on this lesson, odd numbers and that of even numbers. We are doing sorting of numbers. Sorting of numbers simply means we are grouping even numbers and that of odd numbers. The exercise is at page 26 and that of page 27 from the Skills Builder section of the textbook. Finish with this one and post to the group for me to check for you. Okay, so we will see, we'll meet again on our second video. I hope you take care of yourself. Goodbye. Hello students, welcome to the second video on our lesson, odd and even numbers. As you know, even numbers are numbers that when you divide by 2, there is no remainder. And odd numbers are numbers that when you divide, you divide by 2, there is a remainder of 1 all the time. So these are the two differences between the odd numbers and that of the even numbers. Okay, putting your numbers in a category or in a diagram or a table, this is how we also did it, putting our numbers in here depending on the instructions that we have from the column section and the instruction that we have from the row section. Okay, and anytime you are dealing with even numbers and odd numbers, please be guided that 2 is the key number that we use to determine an even number and that of an odd number. Quickly, we will move to our second task, so which is activity 2. On this activity, you can find it from page 25 at the challenge book part. What are you supposed to do there? What the exercise there is that you are supposed to make an even number up to 20. So you are combining two different even numbers that will add up to 20. So you have to come up with two different numbers, possible even numbers that will add up to 20. So you can find this exercise again on page 25, and if you have any difficulty understanding, you ask in the group and I will explain further for you to understand. I thank you all for joining this section. I'll see you on the last and third video. Good. Hello students, welcome to the final session on today's lesson, odd numbers and that of even numbers. I know that you have enjoyed the lesson from the beginning, and this is the final part that we have to work on. We have to do a review so that you always remember that this is what we studied today. Today we studied about odd numbers and even numbers. Odd numbers are numbers that when you divide by 2, you have a remainder of 1. Also, these numbers are not multiples of 2. Then even numbers are numbers that when you divide by 2, there is no remainder. Normally or usually, even numbers are multiples of 2. So all multiples of 2 are even numbers. You also have to understand or remember how you can complete a diagram or a table whenever you have two instructions, one on the column and then one on the row. So which means that whenever you are dealing with tables like this, you have to match these two before you put a value into the space that is provided. Okay, you don't just look at the column instruction, you have to look at the instruction at the column and the instruction at the row so that you combine the two to find your correct answers. This time is time for homework, and your homework, you are doing sorting of numbers. Of course, your numbers are going to be odd numbers and that of even numbers. It is at page 26 of the challenge book section of our textbook. Please make sure that you send your homework before the next section so that you can always earn the right scores that you have to earn to help you get better score at the end of the term. Thank you, and I'll see you next week. Be safe. Goodbye.